Hello class, today we will be covering the basic principles in the investment in associate. So ito yung chapter 17 ng ating intermediate accounting 1. So nangyayari yung ating investment in associate kapag meron tayong investment sa ibang company. So example, ito si company A, nag-invest siya kay company B and nagkaroon siya ng significant influence. So ang determinant para masabing investment in associate ang tagging ng iyong investment is kapag meron kang significant influence. So according to the standard, ang significant influence is if meron tayong 20% or more ownership dun sa isang company or meron tayong 20% or more na voting power. So pag 20% or more, presumed na meron tayong significant influence. According to FAST 28, meron ding ibang evidence of significant influence. So, hindi lang siya based dun sa ating ownership na 20%. Pwedeng kapag meron tayong control sa operations. So, may representation tayo sa board of directors, nagpa-participate tayo sa policy making ng company, and meron tayong material transactions between the investor and investee. So, pwede rin yung mga interchange of managerial personnel and provision of essential technical information. So, technically, di ba before, diniscuss natin na may iba't ibang equity instruments. Then ngayon, itong equity instruments, pwedeng through investment. So, nag-invest tayo, then this time, kapag meron tayong significant influence, nagiging investment in associate siya. So, importante itong part na to determine kung investment in associate siya kasi may iba pang types ng investments. So, kapag investment in associate, magkakaroon tayo ng different na accounting method for it. Okay, so additional concepts regarding investment in associate is kailangan natin i-consider kapag mayroong potential voting rights. So ito consider lang natin siya kapag currently exercisable na yung potential voting rights. So if yes, i-add natin yun dun sa count ng investment natin. So loss of significant influence. So when it loses the power to participate in the financial and operating policy decisions with or without change na ownership is pwedeng mawala yung ating significant influence. Kasi 'di ba, kaya nga natin sinasabing investment in associate is dahil meron tayong significant influence. So, it is key to determine kung meron bang significant influence si company A over the company B. Okay, so, intercorporate. So, remember na, nangyayari ito kapag nag-invest si company A kay company B and meron siyang significant influence. Okay, so sabi ko nga is ang ating accounting method kapag investment in associate is equity method. So ito yung ginagamit natin kapag mayroong significant influence over the investee. Okay, kasi equity method yung ginagamit natin kasi investor, si company A, and si investee, si company B, are viewed as a single economic unit. So ginagamit natin equity method kasi as if one lang sila dahil malaki na yung portion and meron ng significant influence yung nag-invest dun sa ni-investan. Okay, so ito yung mga procedures kapag ginagamit natin ng equity method. Kapag equity method, ang investment ay initially recorded at cost kung magkano natin binili yung investment. Next is kapag merong profit or loss yung pinag-investan natin, it will affect our investment in associate account. Mag-i-increase siya or decrease and may corresponding siyang investment income adjustment. So let's say kumita yung company, so mag-i-increase yung ating investment in associate. So debit investment in associate and credit to investment income. Pag nag-loss naman is kabaliktaran. The next is distribution of dividends. So, ang distribution of dividends will reduce the carrying amount of the investment. So, ang mangyayari, let's say nag-distribute ng dividend yung nag-investan natin, will debit cash and credit investment in associate account. So, nababawasan kasi equity method as if iisa lang sila. So, pag nag-distribute, nababawasan din yung investment mo. So this equity method is not applicable for preference shares since it is a non-voting equity. So applicable lang to sa mga common shares. Okay, so ang investment in associate account is accounted for equity method and shall be classified as non-current asset. Okay, so now discuss natin yung mga sample na problem for equity method application. Okay, so now we will solve sample problem regarding equity method. So on January 1, 2020, an investor purchased 20,000 shares of that 100,000 outstanding ordinary shares of another entity at 200 per share. The investment represents a 20% equity interest and the investor has a significant influence over the investee. The acquisition cost is equal to the carrying amount of the net assets acquired. So this time may binili siya 20%. So alam nating investment in associate to. And sinabi din niyang merong significant influence. So sinabi niya dito na may significant influence. Okay, so ngayon, paano natin i-record? So sabi, at cost. So magkano ba yung bili natin? Binili natin siya ng 20,000 at 200 per share. So i-record natin siya as debit sa investment in associate na 20,000 times 200 which is 4 million. Then credit sa ating cash, yung yung bili natin, cash na 4 million. Next, nag-report ng net income of 5 million. So, yung total na rin-report nila, percentage lang yung napupunta sa atin, which is yung percentage ng ownership natin na 20%. So, 5 million times 20% is equals to 1 million. Ang sabi dito is kapag nagkaroon na share in profit is mag-i-increase yung ating carrying amount. So, debit in investment in associate amounting to 1 million and credit to investment income. Investment income of 1 million. Next is kapag, sabi number 3, receive a 20% share dividend. So, from 20,000, naka-receive tayo ng 25% share dividend. So, that is additional 5,000 shares. Kung maaalala nyo, under the chapter 16 sa ating investment in equity is kapag nakasip tayo na share dividend is memo entry lang yung ginagawa natin kasi wala naman siyang impact sa ating carrying amount. Ano nangyari is nagkakaroon lang tayo ng increase. So meron tayong additional na 5,000 shares. So may total of 25,000 shares na tayo. Pero, yung market value ng bili natin is 4 million pa rin. So, kung dati is 4 million divided by 20,000 shares, ngayon 4 million divided by 25,000 shares na siya. Next is the investor reported a net loss of 1 million. So, yung net loss niya, 20% is may impact sa atin. Under equity method is as if 1 lang tayo. Kaya magkakaroon din ng impact sa ating investment in associate. So, dahil lugi palo, so pabawas yung ating investment ng 200,000 which is the 20% of 1 million. Then, ang debit natin is loss on investment. Dahil nagkaroon siya ng loss and as 1 tayo. So, debit loss of investment amounting to 200,000. Okay, so last item, nag-declare and nag-paid ng cash dividend. So, pag nag-declare and nag-paid ng cash dividend, ang impact sabi dito is distribution of dividends will reduce the carrying amount. So, debit sa ating cash na na-receive natin amounting to 500,000 na dividend and credit sa ating investment in ASO. Kumbaga, kung dati credit sa dividend income pero under equity method sa ating investment in associate, i-credit natin siya sa investment in ASO account. Okay, so next problem 17-13. At the beginning of the current year, small company purchased 25% of big company. So dahil 25%, assumed na meron tayong significant influence. So investment in associate and equity accounting gagamitin natin. Ang sabi dito, no excess resulted from the purchase. Small company appropriately carried this investment of equity and the carrying amount of the investment was 1,900,000. So at the end, so ibig sabihin after all adjustment, 1,900,000 ating carrying amount. Then nag-report ng net income of 1,200,000. So kung nag-report siya ng 1,200,000, ang mangyayari kapag nagkakaroon ng net income is nag-i-increase yung ating investment account. So 25% of that is attributable sa atin. So next is meron daw dividend. So pag nag-declare and nagpapay ng dividend, ang impact is nababawasan yung ating investment. So 480,000 times yung share natin na 25. Yan. So ngayon, ang tanong is magkano yung cost? Magkano yung binayad niya nung bumili siya? So pwede natin i-split yung amount. So 9 minus 300 minus 120. So, letter D, 1,720,000 yung bili niya through squeezing ng amount given yung carry amount, net income, and dividends. Okay, so next, balikan natin yung ating discussion dito. So, bukod sa pagbili, meron din nangyari na nagkakaroon tayo ng excess. Kumbaga, yung binili natin is pwedeng hindi yun yung carrying amount nung pinag-i-investan natin. So, for example, binili natin ng 5 million yung 20%. Ang kaso, yung 20% nung carrying amount ng investee is 4 million lang. So, meron tayong excess. So, meron tayong lumalabas na mas malaki pa yung binili natin over the carrying amount ng binibili natin. So, meron tayong two ways to record the excess of cost. First is to check there is an undervaluation of the investee's assets. So, for example, yung building niya, yung land or yung inventory niya is undervalued. So, doon natin siya re-reflect. Next is kung wala is through goodwill. So, kapag ang excess is attributable sa any depreciable assets such as yung building, it is amortized over the remaining life of the depreciable asset. So, for example, ang sabi is, kaya nagkaroon ng excess is dahil sa building. So, let's say yung excess is 2 million, i-divide mo siya sa remaining life, then i-amortize mo siya every year. So, ang recording mo nun is, magkakaroon ka ng debit sa iyong investment in associate na account, then yearly mo siyang gagawin. So next is land. Kapag attributable to land, since hindi siya depreciable, it is not amortized. Ang mangyari is pag nabenta na siya, tsaka mo lang siya may expense. Then same with inventory, the amount is expense when the inventory is sold. Kapag attributable naman sa letter B, yung goodwill, it is included in the carrying amount of investment and it is not amortized, but it is tested for impairment every end of each reporting period. So later may example tayo kung paano yung actual na distribution ng excess of cost over carrying amount. Okay, so next is bukod sa excess of cost over carrying amount, pwede rin magkaroon ng excess of net fair value over cost. So yung net fair value ng company binibili natin is minsan mas malaki yun over cost. So that part naman para tayong may gain kasi yung binibili natin let's say 6 million pero binili lang natin ng 5 million. So the excess is included as income in the determination of the investor's share of the associate's profit or loss in the period in which the investment is acquired. So ang treatment natin is income pag nagkakaroon ng excess of net fair value over cost. So try natin yung sample problem. Okay. So, nakashare ngayon yung Excel file showing the sample problem. At the beginning of the current year, an investor purchased 20% of the outstanding ordinary shares of an investee for 5 million. So, ibig sabihin, binili niya ng 5 million. So, ang cost natin is 5 million for 20%. So, dahil 20%, it is assumed na meron tayong significant influence. So the net assets of the investee on the date of acquisition are fairly valued except for a depreciable asset. So ito yung sinasabi natin na pwedeng yung excess is dahil sa depreciable asset. So that dito sabi, ang fair value is greater than its carry amount. Tapos sabi is yung remaining excess natin is sa goodwill. Okay, so the carrying amount of the investee's net asset was 20 million. Okay, so yung carrying amount is 20M. So kung 20M multiplied by 20%, it is only 4 million. So may excess tayo. Meron tayong binayaran na more than dun sa carrying amount. Okay, so ang sabi, yung excess is attributable to asset. So ang sabi dito is 2 million yung excess attributable sa ating depreciable asset. So, si depreciable asset, yung 2 million, i-multiply mo din ngayon sa 20%, which is yung parang share mo dun sa undervaluation na 400,000. So, 400,000 is attributable doon. So, meron na lang remaining 600. So, ito na yung ating goodwill. 600,000. Okay, so ngayon, to record the ito yung ating excess of cost, ganito natin siya dapat i-record. So, ang i-record natin dito is yung amortization netong depreciable asset. So, sa every year, so let's say sa year 1, yung 400,000 divided by 400,000 divided by yung years na remaining useful life niya, which is 5. So, meron tayong 80,000. Ito yung i-debit natin sa investment income and credit sa ating investment in ASO na 80,000. So, yung goodwill, hindi na siya nire-record kasi included na siya sa carrying amount. So, ito lang yung magiging recording natin for excess of cost, which is attributable to depreciable asset. So, next sample, problem 17-2. So, ito naman, at the beginning of the current year, the company purchased 40% of the ordinary shares of another entity for 3,500,000. So, yung cost natin is 3,500,000. When the net assets acquired amounted to 7 million. So, 7 million yung binibili mo, multiplied by 40%. So, ang net assets lang nung part na binili mo is 2,800,000. So, yung binayad mo is excess dun sa net assets. So, meron ka pa excess na 700,000. So, ang sabi dito, attributable daw first sa equipment na 1,500,000. So, 1,500,000 multiplied by the 40% share. So, 600,000 is attributable to the depreciable asset, which is the equipment. Then next is inventory. So, 500,000 yung excess multiplied by 40%. So, 200,000 is pertaining to inventory. So, ngayon, meron tayong excess of fair value. So, ito naman yung kanina na sinasabi natin na technically, yung binili natin is meron pa rin, mas malaki pa yung fair value over the cost. So, ang recording natin is first, i-record mo natin investment na 3,500,000. So, debit investment in associate, 3,500,000 and credit to cash. Then next is yung share natin dito sa net income na 4 million. So, sa 4 million, 40% is sa atin. So, dahil equity method, it will increase our investment in associate account and increase also the investment income. Third is our share in dividend. So, na nagkakaroon ng share sa dividends is nagde-decrease yung ating investment in associate account. So, debit cash and credit investment in associate. So, number 4 is yung ating so next is yung ating number 4, yung recording natin ng excess na equipment. So, yung 600,000, i-divide natin siya sa remaining life niya na 4 years, kaya 150,000. Okay, so, next is inventory. Yung sabi natin sa inventory is, i-expense natin siya once sold. Ang sabi dito sa problem is, all sold na siya during the year. So, 200,000 na buo na excess yung ating i-record sa investment income and credit sa ating investment in associate account. So, last is i-record yung excess of fair value. So, ang recording natin is debit investment in associate and credit investment income. Okay, so next problem is medyo similar lang siya dito sa 17-2. So, excess of fair value over cost. So, at the beginning of current year, an investor purchased 40% of the ordinary shares outstanding of an investor for 15 million. So, binili niya ng 15 million, which is 40% yung ownership niya dito. Ang net asset nung binibili niya is 30 million. So, ibig sabihin, 30 million multiplied by 40%, ang amount ng binibili natin is 12 million. So, mayroong excess. Pero ngayon, ang sabi, ang excess is attributable dito sa equipment din and meron tayong inventory. So, sa equipment, 7 million greater than. So, 7 million multiplied by share natin ng 40%, 2,800,000 ng excess is attributable sa equipment. So, next is inventory. 2,500,000 greater than carrying amount multiplied by 40%. So, yung 1 million excess is dito rin sa inventory. So, ngayon, makakompute na natin yung excess ng ating fair value. So, first, excess na 3 million. So, 15 minus 12, 3 million. Then, deduct natin yung mga excess kanina. So, meron tayong 800,000. Okay, so ngayon, i-record din natin yung tulad kanina, paano natin i-reflect itong mga excess. So, first, we will record muna yung investment niya na at cost. So, debit investment in associate for 15 million and credit to cash. Next is to record the share in income kasi meron din siyang income na 20 million. So, debit investment in associate and credit investment income. Is 20 million multiplied by the share of 40%. So, meron tayong share na 8 million sa ating net income. Number 3 is to record the share in the dividend declared na 5 million. So, ang recording natin dito is debit cash, 5 million multiplied by 40%. Okay, so next is to record yung depreciation ng excess ng equipment. So, recording natin is debit investment income and credit sa ating investment in associate amounting to 1 million, which is 2,800,000 divided by remaining useful life of 4 years. Okay, so 700,000. Next is to record yung sa inventory. Ito pala yung 1 million natin na i-reflect natin as full kasi sold na daw yung inventory according sa problem. So, debit investment income and credit to investment in associate. So, the remaining excess na 800,000 will be reflected sa ating investment in associate. 800,000. Credit sa ating investment income, 800,000. Okay, so that's all for this problem. Okay, so balikan natin yung discussion. Okay, so next concept dito sa ating investment in associate is yung investee with heavy losses. So kunyari, yung pinag-investan natin is puro loss na siya. So kunyari, ang carrying amount ng investment mo sa kanya is 10 million, then more than nandun yung loss na share mo. So, doon na tayo nag-i-stop sa hanggang doon lang sa ating carrying amount. So, if an investor's share of losses equals or exceeds the carrying amount of an investment, the investor discontinues recognizing its share of further losses. So, hindi muna tayo mag-share ng loss hanggang doon lang sa ating carrying amount. Pero kapag nag-generate na ng income si ating investee, mag-share lang tayo sa gain. Kapag na-capture in na natin yung ating unrecognized na losses. So, doon lang tayo mag-start na mag-share ng income. So, may sample problem tayo dito for investing with heavy losses. So, ito. So, on January 1, 2020, an investor acquired 25% of the ordinary share of an associate for 5 million. On this date, the identifiable assets and liabilities of the associate were measured at fair value, and there is no goodwill arising from acquisition. So, noong year 1, noong 2020, may loss na 1 million. So, ang share mo dun is 25%, which is 250,000. So, ang recording natin is debit loss on investment and credit investment in associate. So, loss in investment and investment in associate account na 250,000. So, next is 2021. Okay, so nung year 2, 2021, is meron namang loss ulit si companies investing na 10 million. So may share ulit tayo doon ng 2,500,000. So ang ating investment daw, di ba, is 5 million, sabi dito. So kaya pa natin i-record yung 2,500,000 na share natin. Hanggang doon lang sa part na nandun lang sa carrying amount ng investment. So in 2022, may loss ulit na 3 million. So, kailangan mo lagi i-revisit kung kaya pa ba nung ating 5 million na carry amount. So, 5 million less 250 less 2,500,000. So, ang natitira na lang is 2,250. So, hanggang dun mo lang pwedeng i-record yung loss. Kasi hindi siya pwedeng mag-exceed ng iyong carrying amount. So, 2023, nag-gain na siya na 500,000. So, this time, debit investment in associate and credit gain naman na investment income. Pero kailangan mo i-revisit kung pwede na ba akong mag-record. Na-catch up ko na ba itong remaining na balance ko. So, kumbaga, ang re-record ko lang kasi na loss dito is 2,250,000. Pero ang dapat kong re-record is 3 million. 3 million. So, parang may utang pa ako ng recording na 750,000. So, yung gain ko na 500,000 is hindi ko pwede i-record kasi hindi ko pa na mabawi yung 750,000. So, dito 500,000 yung gain ko. So, pwede lang mag-record kapag pag nabawi ko na yung 750,000. So, sa 2023 is no entry tayo. For 2024, mag-record na ako. So, may gain na ako na 625,000. Ang kaso, ang pwede kong i-record dito is yung portion lang din na 625 less 250,000, which is 375,000. So, nakuha natin siya dito sa part na to na So, 5 million less yung 250,000 less yung 2,500,000 tapos 3 million yung isa ko pang share. Tapos nagkaroon ng gain na 500, tapos nagkaroon ng gain na 625. Okay, so 375,000 yung pwede kong i-record dito. So, kailangan mo lang i-check kung yung gain ba niya is more than na dun sa hindi niya na-recognize na loss. Kasi that time, nung ditong part ng 3 million, ang na-recognize niya lang is 2,250,000. So, may unrecognized siyang loss of 750,000. Tapos dito naman, nabawasan yung unrecognized niya kasi meron tayong 500,000 na gain. So, may unrecognized na lang na 250,000. So, ngayon, kailangan i-minus yung gain na 625 less yung unrecognized na 250,000 to come up with the 375,000. Okay, so balik tayo dito sa slides. Okay. So ito yung sinasabi dito na if the associate subsequently reports income, the investor resumes including its share of such income after its share of the income equals the share of losses not recognized. So, kailangan mo muna bawiin yung mga hindi mo na-recognize initially nung sunod-sunod na loss. Okay, so next is impairment loss. So, ang investment in associate is assessed yung impairment loss if there is an indication na maka-impaired siya. So, masasabi natin impaired kapag yung carrying amount is greater than na siya sa recoverable amount. So, let's say ang carrying amount ng investment mo is 5 million, pero ang possible mo na lang ma-recover in case na kailangan mo siya i-recover is 4 million. So, meron ka ng impairment loss na 1 million. So, kailangan mo siyang i-assess every year kung meron na bang potential na impairment loss. So, yung recoverable amount, ito yung higher between the fair value and value in use. Yung fair value, ito yung amount na may receive natin if binenta natin siya ngayon at the transaction price between market participants at the measurement date. So, ito yung fair value na posible natin siyang ma-recover. So either of the two, kung alin yung mas mataas, yun yung recoverable amount. Yung value in use is the present value of the estimated future cash flows expected to arise from the continuing use of asset from its ultimate disposal. Okay, so kung ano yung mas mataas dito, yun yung recoverable amount. Then i-compare natin siya sa carry amount. Then kapag yung concept din is kung yung carry amount, yung value ng in-invest mo, is mas mataas na siya dun sa pwede mong ma-recover. So, meron ka ng loss. So, meron ka ng impairment loss. Okay. So, next is, kailangan din natin i-consider yung investing with preference shares and other changes in equity. So, sabi dito kapag cumulative yung preferred shares natin is isasama lang natin yung preferred dividends natin kahit na-declare or not. Pero kapag non-cumulative, kapag declared lang. Okay, so other changes in equity. So, bukod sa mga net income, dividend, so meron din tayong mga revaluation of PPE and foreign exchange translation differences na hindi natin nire-recognize, ang recognition natin is directly in the equity of investor. So, yun na yung mga other concept natin pagdating sa investment in associate. Ayan, that's all for this chapter. So next chapter is madidiscuss naman natin yung other principles regarding investment in associate. Thank you.